Hi folks, and welcome back to another Travels of Red Rover. I'm Shawn.
And I'm Corinne.
And this week we are back on Bandon Beach. Now, what you don't know is that we've actually filmed a video on Bandon Beach. And
well, we got skunked tonight, a lot of fog, even worse than last night. We had high hopes because it was so nice and sunny right up until about 6 o'clock.
Yeah, I was so excited coming down the steps. I thought, oh boy, it's going to be good tonight. Yeah, I was wrong. And the light on Bandon Beach was so bad that we've never shown it.
We were here last August, or as it's often referred to in the Pacific Northwest, Fogust, because it's always so foggy on the coast. So we thought, oh no, we'll be able to come back in April and the weather will be much better.
Yeah, we were wrong. We've actually got 3 days here on the beach. We're hoping to get some light during the time that we're here. Unfortunately, the current weather forecast is for drab, followed by drab, with a little more drab.
Hey, we're optimistic. We're going to believe that the sun is going to break through and it will be wonderful.
So the only thing that could go for us now is that we even get more fog, in which case we can go total minimalist with just a hint of a rock on a beach.
So let's go on down to the beach and see what we can find tonight.
In addition to the drab, we also got wind, a thunderstorm, and lots of rain, and periodic shots of sun. We've photographed on Bandon Beach many times, and it never ceases to surprise us. We hope you enjoy this crazy photographic ride on Bandon Beach.
So Shawn, why don't you tell us what you're working on this cloudy evening?
So I'm actually working on a real minimalist shot. I've got these 3 little stones that are right down in front of my camera that kind of loop along in a little trough that the water is made. And then what I'm doing is just using the stones and the sand, nothing else. And the stones have got some interesting colors, some browns and blues in them that I think will be an interesting minimalist shot. So one of the things I've had to do in the shot is actually bump my ISO up to 400. And I've got my f-stop wide open. This camera, this lens, it's 5.6. I don't really need any depth of field. I do need a faster shutter speed because the sand is actually moving around a little bit because we're right down near the surf, as you can hear behind Corinne here. So I'm having to work relatively quickly. Every time the surf changes the stones, I have to reset and take another photograph. Currently working on a shot out that way. We're actually getting a little bit more light right now as the sun is setting. It's still pretty dull though.
Shawn's thinking optimistically.
Just in case you couldn't hear that, Corinne says I'm an optimist. One of the things that Corinne and I have been meaning to do a little bit more of is to do a few more minimalist shots. In fact, we have a spot over our bed at home that we'd like to put a triplex minimalist shot that is kind of soothing. And we were kind of hoping that we might find something like that this week while we were out here in Bandon Beach. So we're doing a lot of experimenting, which, considering the light is pretty awful, is probably the thing to do. Some of these may look pretty good in black and white. Some of these may just look awful, period. But it's kind of fun trying to make something work. It's a little bit like trying to create a silk purse out of a sow's ear. But that's actually the nature of photography, and you know, you sometimes just have to shoot what you find.
So I've set up my camera to take some pictures of the rocks with the waves coming over them. But even with an ISO of 100 and an f-stop of 16, aperture of 16, it was capturing the wave motion too quickly. So I added a 2-stop filter in the front of my camera to slow down the shutter speed and give it a more velvety look of the water coming over the rocks.
We continue to work on the puddle shots for the next couple days. Here are the two that we like the best. Which one do you like the best? Put your answer in the comment section down below.
Hi folks, well it's the next morning and I've walked out to see Corinne, how she's doing.
Yes, it's not looking too good this morning. I think we're going to get skunked again.
Yeah, I think that's going to be the story of this particular trip, at least for the next couple days. We're expecting sort of this low gray kind of dead sky.
We might have to change our location away from the beach and move inland.
Yep, that's our plan. So anyway, well, if we get anything, we'll definitely show it, but right now we're kind of getting skunked. It's after sunrise and we still haven't seen any light this morning. So we're going to give it a few more minutes, but we're probably going to pack it in relatively soon. Well, I may have spoken too soon. We're just starting to get a little bit of pink in the sky over at the edge of the horizon there. So we're going to try some shots in that direction and see what we get. And we're getting a really nice pink band off in the right at the edge of the photograph, which is perfect. And I'm shooting sort of this group of rocks down the other end, and I wish there was a little bit more definition in the rocks, but it's the best I can do right from where I am. So taking a few of those photographs, and that's what it looks like on the back of the camera. Now, one of the things I am doing is I'm varying the shutter speed by moving the ISO up and down. I'm not sure whether I want to capture the waves sort of so they're stationary, or if I want a little bit of smearing in the water. So I'm trying both so I can make that decision later on.
It had a little bit of light, just as we were giving up hope.
Yeah, in fact, it's one of those life lessons where you just got to hang in there and hang in there and hang in there, because about 20 minutes after sunrise, we got some really beautiful pink light, and it just made it really lovely to shoot.
And there was, must have been a little distant rainstorm back behind some of the rocks, because it looked like we had a slight rainbow after the pink of sunrise.
Back on the beach that evening for another wild episode of Weather and Light.
Better get our gear and go out to the beach another time. You never know what you might see the next trip out, and it could be the light that we've been hoping for a couple sessions. So we're here with our rain gear on in case it rains, and our warm weather gear because it's really windy, and the sun's behind a cloud bank out there. We're hoping it'll still give us some light. So we got our fingers crossed. Tide's coming in, so we're glad to have our boots on, but it might be time to move our positions a little bit.
So I came out to the far end of Bandon Beach that we don't normally come to come out and try to do a little shot or two around the Wizard's Hat, which is just out there. And I've been photographing it for the last little while with the sun up behind it, with the light up behind it, and also the three rocks that are in front of me with the light behind it. And what I was doing was using the beach as a reflection of the hat as part of my foreground. So that's been a kind of an important part of getting the photograph tonight. It's been a bit of a challenge because the hat's a bit on the silhouette-y side, and not really much I can do about that right now because the sun and the light is exactly behind it. So it's almost impossible to get it more detailed than I am right now. So just trying to make sure that the actual detail on the reflection and in the silhouette is quite good and quite sharp. So that's my other challenge. The second challenge I've got is it's blowing like stink out here. In fact, the entire camera and my tripod has tried to actually blow over a couple times. So consequently, I pushed the ISO up a little bit in order to shoot at higher speeds, just so that I can sort of compensate for the vibration of the wind and try to get the nice, sharp photograph.
So I'm hanging out here by Wizard's Rock, and one of the things I'm trying to do is do the rock in a portrait orientation so that I can use the full height of the rock above and then a reflection in the sand down below. So it looks like a mirror of itself. Now the tides come in pretty far and I have to time my shot in between some of these waves. And it's not going to be very long before my opportunity disappears and the waves will be too steady closer to where I'm set up with my camera. Just a few minutes before sunset. 5 minutes ago we had quite the downpour of rain. I hung out here on the beach. I'm at the Face Rock location, and the Face Rock is a rock that has a silhouette that looks up toward the sky, looks like a face, and I'm hoping that the last of the sunlight will just glow behind it. And looks like now that the rain shower has passed, we might get a little bit of sunset. It's just about 10 minutes from sunset.
Folks, we sure hope you enjoyed coming along with us tonight.
If you did, I hope you'll consider giving us a thumbs up.
Thumbs up. And if you want to keep track of us, please subscribe.
And if you'd like to know when new videos get posted, you can hit that notification bell to be notified.
And as always, we love hearing from you. Any idea, thoughts, comments, please put them in the section below. We love getting them, and we respond to all of them.
Bye for now.
Thanks very much, and bye for now.